Being part of the PropTech scene in Hong Kong, we started to see that the real estate industry has accelerated its digital transformation in recent months, bringing both challenges and opportunities to the sector. While we were thrilled about the adoption, a lot of PropTech startups found it hard to find support in the ecosystem and the industry at large to resist changes. We have invited Leo Lo, one of the first pioneers in Hong Kong, who has kickstarted the PropTech scene, to share his insights on this topic. We will touch on what PropTech is, the current ecosystem, the problems, and the outlook. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Hey, so Leo, welcome to the show.
Hello, Darren.
Yeah, so it's interesting, right? Because I've known you for 4 or 5 years, and I always said that you're someone that I've learned about property tech through you, and you inspire me a lot. So, obviously, I will say thanks through this medium first about you inspire me, and then I want the audience to know more about your work and obviously about Asia PropTech. So, would you mind telling the audience a little bit about yourself, your work, and then what you're working on?
All right. So yeah, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to be one of your interviewees in your video. And thanks for setting up this, because I think it's quite meaningful to let the property players, the investors know more about the innovations in the real estate industry. Yeah, first of all, myself, my name is Leo Lo. I'm actually, my background, I'm a chartered estate surveyor. So suppose I work in very the traditional real estate, investment, financing, and land matters related industry. So I'm now working on both things. One is more on the traditional side. I'm running my own business in real estate consultancy and also real estate investment. We also do boutique real estate development in other countries. At the same time, we also started PropTech some years ago. I established Asia PropTech, probably the first PropTech dedicated community found in Asia Pacific region. I started in 2016. Yeah. At that moment of time, there was not many people, talk about PropTech. So I felt very excited and also lonely when I talked about PropTech at that time. And later on, I think I knew you from some event. I forgot that you're so passionate about the innovations in real estate. I appreciate it. And now, after several years, especially for the first 1 to 2 years, we spent a lot of effort in connecting the people in Europe, in North America, who are interested in PropTech. Somehow, Asia is lagging behind, comparatively speaking, maybe 2 to 3 years. So in 2016, in 2017, Asia PropTech got a lot of connections with those European counterparts. They have so many PropTech associations, like UK PropTech, Germany PropTech, or PropTech Russia, you name it. I also myself was always invited by them to speak about the PropTech scene in Asia, to share with them about the PropTech situation, the development in the Asia Pacific region. Not until for these 1 to 2 years, I think the whole PropTech scene becomes very active in Asia Pacific region. Especially, the developers here, the real estate investors here, they are all keen on looking forward to some innovations that can be brought to their projects, how to add values to their projects, etc. So that's Asia PropTech. And we are now providing few things to the real estate industry about the innovations. We provide the consultancy services on PropTech. We still keep on connecting people around the world. We work closely with other PropTech associations, probably like PropTech Institute in Hong Kong, that's founded by you. we are working very close together. That's great. And we also try to set up some what we call co-creation lab in the region. But sadly, because the COVID-19 progress is sluggish, because we cannot make travel. So something I think we still need to work on more. Hopefully, maybe next year, to set up some co-creation labs with the governments, with the industry in some countries in Asia, like Malaysia, Singapore, Greater Bay Area, etc. So yeah, there's Asia PropTech and myself. We also have our own PropTech solution because I'm a chartered surveyor, so my interest is more on the real estate analysis, the valuation side. So we are developing our what we call AVM, the automated valuation model. Try to assist the real estate investors, the financiers about the true valuation of real estate. Yeah.
That's pretty good, because it's interesting because you touch so many different points of the real estate spectrum, right? Like from valuation, from the investment side, consultancy, and obviously now PropTech is something that I always want to talk to you about. And then, it's always exciting to talk about property tech because I think that is a really, really big potential for the industry. And then you have to be the forefront, just kickstart everything. So I want to say thanks for the whole segment. So, pretty quickly, right, for the audience, I want to take a step back to tell the audience about property tech. Would you mind give a very brief description of what it is and what it isn't?
Sure. PropTech, the term becomes popular only within these 10 years. Even less than 7 years. I think originally, in the US, they call it real estate tech. In Europe and the UK, they use property as real estate. So they call it PropTech, property tech. To me, I think somehow PropTech is just a buzzword. So just like fintech, just like health tech, insurtech. I think any technologies, any innovations that can be applied to the real estate and construction industry can be regarded as PropTech. So some people would suggest that, okay, PropTech is something overlapping with smart cities, for example, or overlapping with fintech, for example. I think the answer is yes. Yeah, somehow it's yes, because there are no particular technologies you can say, oh, it's only PropTech, it's not fintech, right? So it depends on which technologies you're using, and somehow it's not only about the hard technologies, it's also about innovation. For example, business model innovation. Say we regard co-working or co-living are also the verticals under the banner of PropTech. Co-working doesn't use any rocket science technology, but they somehow have a very innovative business model. They actually changed or disrupt a bit about the relationship between landlords and tenants. And especially this year, we encountered a pandemic situation. Many people working from home, so co-working is an idea, try to shuffle the relationship, the interest between the landlords and tenants. So it is also regarded as PropTech. I'll give you a more examples, like we talk about PropTech from PropTech 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. So 1.0 is more related to those using the internet economy in the real estate industry. Like many people start their PropTech business. First of all, they focus on the multiple MLS platforms. So in Hong Kong, for example, 28house.com, 591.com, even for the Center Line, the Midland, they develop their own platforms. I think these are, of course, PropTech. So they try to to minimize the cost of information. Some of them even they want to get rid of agents. Yeah, so this is PropTech. And 2.0 is something like they use drones, they use VR, they use AR to assist the real estate or construction process. Say even BIM, building information modeling, I can say that BIM is even invented earlier than the term of PropTech. So this is fantastic tool to assist the constructor, the project, the real estate manager. And 3.0 is something like they use more data analytics, AI or blockchain, try to facilitate the real estate transactions. So it's a buzzword, and there's no very concrete definition about PropTech. So any technologies, any business model innovations that can facilitate the real estate and construction industry can be regarded as PropTech.
I see. No, I think it's really interesting, because when you talked about it, you can see like a history of how property tech business have evolved. So I'm just kind of curious too, right? Because like we both know that PropTech adoption, or at least like the awareness of PropTech was slower before, and this year somehow it accelerated really fast. What do you think is the reason behind that?
Yeah, taking Hong Kong as an example, I think especially in the first 1 to 2 years when I established, Asia PropTech, I talked to the developers, the local developers. I think the FAQ, the frequently asked questions on PropTech is they would like to know, okay, if I use PropTech, how much I can save, the cost, and how much the profit can be boosted up. So this is very very direct. I think that they are asking something correct, because these two factors are the main elements in real estate development, for example. So they concern much about what actually PropTech can help. But in some years before, or for the previous 10 years, the Hong Kong, for example, the real estate market is performing quite good. To be honest, it's not that difficult for those established real estate developers to earn money, even without using tech, even without using innovations. So somehow, PropTech was just like a tool for them to window dressing, instead of they really want to use PropTech to solve the problems. But and not until this year, I think for the whole world, we encountered the pandemic situation. As mentioned, for the office landlords, they are facing higher and higher vacancy rates, even in central, even in the CDB, in many major cities in the world. For the retail malls, for example, for the street shops, the high street shops, the vacancy rates are getting higher and higher. So somehow they turn their head to PropTech again, try to they really want to see how PropTech can help. And this time they are serious, because PropTech can really differentiate different levels. Say in China, for example, in the mainland China, I think some years ago, we even discussed or talked about if Country Garden, for example, will collapse in one day. Even Evergrande, in recent 2 to 3 weeks, there are bad news about Evergrande. I want to say is, in China or in other countries, the real estate market is probably comparatively competitive. So the developers, even the big developers, are keen on make themselves more innovative. Say Country Garden, I mentioned, they started to use construction tech. They started to put money in the R&D of robotics in construction. I know many real estate developers in mainland China. They have their in-house incubators. They put a lot of effort in to encourage their employees to suggest some innovative solutions to their industry. I think they're really putting some true effort in pushing the innovation. So that's different. So to answer your question, I think in the past, maybe the real estate companies were in the comfort zone, but now they need to look into what innovation or PropTech can really help. Yeah.
I see. So what is the current stage of the PropTech industry in the world at the moment, and which segments have become more popular?
As I mentioned, in the PropTech sector, we already used 3.0 to describe the current situation. And I don't think we made progress to PropTech 4.0. We haven't reached that stage yet. But now I think, comparatively speaking, I think construction-related tech would be more favorable. Because somehow some people may suggest that, okay, real estate tech is a platform, is something, just try to lower a bit the communication cost. Somehow real estate tech is not that on the ground, but construction-related tech is more on the ground. That means, say, if you use 3D printing for constructing a house, if you use some innovative building materials like engineering, bamboo, for example. I know some companies are doing that. They are very concrete. I mean, they are on the ground. They can save the cost, save the time. Even BIM, as I mentioned, these solutions are more favorable. And you can see even SoftBank, they invest in a company called Katera, I think, if I'm correct. They're based in the Silicon Valley. They are more on the construction tech sector. After the investment made by SoftBank, they became a unicorn. So that is a very prominent example. I think even for the Hong Kong billionaires, for example, as I know, say the companies, the ventures from Mr. Li Ka-shing, they also invest and acquired some building management or energy management related companies in Europe. So to answer your question, I think construction tech or building tech or energy management related tech are comparatively attractive or more favorable. Back to real estate, I think data analytics would be something under the spotlight as well. Somehow we probably overestimate blockchain in some years ago. But I always suggest that we of course we cannot underestimate blockchain applications in the real estate industry in the coming 5 to 10 years. But somehow it still takes time. Say, because blockchain, we still need to work with the governments, we need to work with the regulators. So we need to be patient to wait for blockchain to change the industry. So to me, real estate data analytics, AI assisted or powered tech that can help to facilitate real estate transaction, that would be great. Yeah.
I see. So, like a lot of people, obviously, we all acknowledge, we're part of the industry. We felt that PropTech has been increasing faster, but people still think that the PropTech Hong Kong scene is a bit slower. What's the reason behind it, and what are the challenges for that reason, in your opinion?
Okay. I think I mentioned a bit about this previously. Say because of the real estate developers, most of them actually are in the comfort zone, so they are not that keen on changing themselves compared with other countries. That is one of the reasons. I think secondly is about the government support, because Hong Kong government they try to assist or help fintech or smart cities a lot. They create some task force, or they name fintech or smart cities as the major stream that they need to put effort on and resources in. But PropTech, it seems to me, still not many people talk about it. I know Cyberport may revisit they recently revisit, the streams. They need to focus on maybe PropTech will be under the spotlight. So I think that's important because somehow, in Asia with the government support, no matter it's money or network or market, that would be helpful. So I look forward to one day, say, Hong Kong government name PropTech as one of the vertical they will put much resources in. And somehow, I think the number of PropTech companies is not that big. I mean, the number is not that big in Hong Kong. It's also one of the reasons that make Hong Kong a bit slow because, first of all, Hong Kong, the startup ecosystem is not that big compared with Singapore, compared with Malaysia, compared with Korea. I always say that even for the tech people in Hong Kong, if they want to make a startup, they want to start a tech or business model innovation company, they would rather choose maybe other industries, not real estate, not construction. They may start their company in fintech, in health tech, in education tech. Somehow, because real estate in Hong Kong is such a big market with big companies already. So for those pure tech people, they may be reluctant to have their company started in real estate and construction related fields. Because the investors will ask them, say, if Mr. Li Ka-shing do something similar, how your company can survive. Say if Mr. Xi Wenqing do something similar, how's your company can survive. So it's quite discouraging somehow. And for the real estate or construction industry people in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong, I think you are working in this industry before, I'm working in this industry. Somehow I think we are also in the comfort zone. And most of them actually are employees. And they may not be that entrepreneurial at that sense, So you cannot find many people coming from real estate and construction industry jumping out to start their company. So that's also one of the reasons. So that makes PropTech is not that active at this moment, but I still believe that the situation will get better in the coming years. Yeah.
Let's hope so. And if you can deliver a message to all the real estate industry leaders or PropTech leaders, what would that be?
I think I would suggest I would like to say embrace is the key. Say embracing the innovations, embracing any new ideas, like what I'm developing now on AVM, as mentioned, automated valuation model. Somehow it's challenging the traditional, the surveyor's jobs. And also, we also need to work with the regulators, work with the professional institutes. I think the institutes, the regulators, the players in the industry should at least adopt an embracing mentality. Yeah. Otherwise, I think the society cannot be improved, and that's something I want to suggest. Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah, that's a really good message. Yeah, I get it. But it is something that is coming, but you just gotta keep going and keep trying the best to build the best product out there.
Employ them because the trend is the trend. Like I mentioned about blockchain, although we a bit overestimate the impact in these 1 to 2 years, but it will definitely change or improve the industry in the coming 5 to 10 years. So we need to embrace any innovations.
I see. So one last thing, right? Because obviously we can go hours and hours on it, and then I think in the future, if I ever ask you to come to the show, it'll be really cool that we can talk about very specific segments of what's going on, because PropTech is a very broad. It's like as if I ask you,
have a just big spectrum, very wide spectrum.
Yeah, and then obviously there's hardware, there's software. Yeah, there's a lot of things there, but we can go drill down like more and more in details. So, in the interim, right, would the audience want to learn more about property tech or want to ask for your service? How would they contact you? How do you suggest them to contact you and talk to you further?
All right. You're welcome to visit my webpage, www.asiaprop.tech, and you can find the contact details of myself. And of course, you can search my name, Leo Low, on LinkedIn. You'll definitely find myself out. Yeah. Feel free to text me, leave me a message. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I'll have everything in the show notes, and I'll say thanks for your time to being here. And I really think that we're just in the beginning of the whole industry, and I can't wait for 5 years from now to be like, wow, there's so many things happening, and then we are obviously part of the industry to start the whole thing.
You're hard on PropTech as well, so yeah, let's keep them momentum.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see how it goes. And thanks for your time. I really appreciate your time again. And then next time, come again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one, Dan.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. What do you think of this episode? Please let us know in the comment below, and be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep in touch with us for upcoming videos. But before we go, I want to give a big shout out to Patina Design Lab. They're the one who help us in making our brand, art direction, as well as these videos. They are a strategic design consultancy firm to help businesses with a wide range of design services, from industrial design, branding, graphic design, art direction, content creation, and many more. They are a very talented bunch, and I urge you to check out their website for their work. That's all for today, and see you next time. Cheers.